These are B and Mac, and welcome to the channel where everything is gluten-free and authentically Italian. Today we're going to show you another Italian masterpiece, Cacio e Pepe, obviously in a gluten-free version. We are talking about one of the most famous recipes of the Roman cuisine. And can you imagine you only need 3 ingredients? Answer is yes. In fact, main actors today are Pecorino cheese, black pepper, and our steady gluten-free spaghetti. I must say that is a tricky recipe because it is true we only need 3 ingredients, but the secret of a real cacio e pepe is in its creamy consistency, isn't it?
Absolutely.
In fact, the cream is given thanks to the Roman Pecorino, which is an Italian hardened cooked cheese produced from the whole fresh sheep's milk. In Italy, we have different kinds of pecorino. We have the one from Sardinia, Tuscany, and Umbria, but the Roman pecorino cheese is more salty and mainly used for cooking. In fact, it is a very tasty product. But before we start, let's see together the origin of this pasta version. The history of this recipe, symbol of the Roman era, was born in the pasteurs during the transhumance. Throughout the long movement of the flocks, the shepherds of the Roman countryside filled their sack with long life and caloric foods. Among the dry tomatoes, guanciale, there were also a few slices of pecorino cheese, black pepper, and dried pasta, which was made with flour, salt, and water. It is not a coincidence that they selected certain kinds of food. In fact, the black pepper that stimulates the heat receptors helped the shepherds to protect themselves from the cold. The pecorino cheese can be preserved for a long time, and the dried pasta gave them the right amount of calories and carbohydrates. It took so little time to transform these ingredients from a frugal meal to a typical dish served in the Roman tavern. According to the tradition, the host of that time took care to serve a dry cacio e pepe to promote business. The fact that the pasta was dry obliged the customer to order wine. So, the more cacio e pepe they ate, the more wine they drank. Wise guys. Now, let's get started. But as usual, I remember that you will find the ingredients for 4 people recipe at the end of the video. And if you want to see more or if you want to know more, please remember to subscribe. Give us a thumb up or just leave us a comment. For today's pasta version, we have selected I Rollo gluten-free spaghetti. I Rollo is a pasta factory which is situated in the southern part of Naples, specifically in Gragnano, that is known as the European capital of pasta. We must admit that we didn't know this brand before, but trust us, it has been a pleasant surprise when we've tasted them for the first time. We'll give you our feedback while we're cooking. First step, start to boil your water. For a 4 people recipe, in a pan, pour about 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And then add the black pepper. Some people like to add peppercorns, but we prefer to grind it, as we like the oil to absorb the flavor. Now folks, listen carefully. As I told you before, there is a secret to this recipe, okay? So we dare and add cornstarch to the pasta water for a creamier sauce. As you know, the problem with the gluten-free pasta is that it contains less starch than the normal one. So we dare to cheat, and using a strainer, we sift 1 tablespoon of cornstarch into the water. When the oil starts to fry, turn off the heat or flame. We will come back later. Add the salt when the water starts to boil. If you want to know why we put salt after boiling, check out our gricia recipe, where I explained why and how to avoid ruining your pots. Now, let's cook our spaghetti. Put them in the boiling water and let them cook for about 8 minutes. Italian pasta is traditionally served al dente, which means not overcooked. So, let's talk about the pasta. We must say that we really like this brand. First of all, for their design. In fact, they have a U shape. Many will find them uncomfy as they are very long once cooked, but I assure you that having a fork full of pasta
is always a big joy. Also, they respect the cooking time written on the label and do not break during cooking or while we eat them. They are made with white and yellow corn and rice, without the addition of thickeners or preservatives. They have a great texture and wonderful for the palate. Just a couple of minutes before straining your pasta, put some pasta water into the pan with the oil and black pepper. For a 4-people recipe, I suggest about 1 small ladle per person. And don't waste the water when you drain the spaghetti. Leave about 3 small ladles to make your pecorino cheese cream later. I usually keep the water in a mug or in a small bowl. When your spaghetti are cooked, put them into the pan and stir to absorb the water and cook over a very low heat or flame. In the meanwhile, let's prepare our yummy pecorino cream sauce. Take the water put aside and put it into a bowl. Stir with a whisk and start to add the grated pecorino cheese. When it has reached a creamy consistency, then you have done a great job. Before adding the pecorino cream sauce, stir the spaghetti again and then add it to the pan. Stir vigorously so that the sauce will be perfectly mixed with our spaghetti. We are now ready to serve. But don't forget to put the remaining sauce on top of your pasta. Final step is to add black pepper. You are now ready to enjoy your Cacio Pepe. Look at it. We can't wait to taste it. That pecorino cream sauce makes us want to devour it as if we haven't eaten for ages. For Italians, the first feeling that evokes a dish of pasta are happiness, pleasure, and energy. And this is what you can exactly expect from this legendary recipe. Apparently simple to prepare, but on the contrary, it requires so much attention. Many people think that it's made with cream. Instead, the only ingredient is the Pecorino Romano cheese. There are those who add a part of Parmigiano cheese, which is not a crime, but tradition only wants Pecorino Romano. Our suggestion is to eat it immediately, with a glass of red wine and with the people you love. Buon appetito!